Bees. Bees are the unsung heroes of this planet. You may not know this, but they're actually one of the most important creatures on Earth. But why are bees so important? Bees are one of the most important pollinators for food crops. Each day we rely on bees and other pollinators to support the ecosystem. Fruits and vegetables all rely on pollinators transporting pollen from one flower to the next. But the value of bees goes beyond just supplying countless fruits and vegetables. Bees are also responsible for nuts, coffee, and even spices. Along with that, bees also help produce 1/3 of our food supply, help provide 1/2 of the world's fibers, oils, and other raw materials, help create many medicines, provide food for the wildlife, help prevent soil erosion, and many more. Nearly 90% of flowering plant species on the planet require pollinators to aid in reproduction. This not only provides a food system for the wildlife, but it also creates shelter for animals. The honeybee is responsible for nearly 1/3 of crop pollination, but these hardworking insects produce more than that. They have 6 high products: pollen, honey, beeswax, royal jelly, propolis, and venom. These are all collected and used for nutritional and medical purposes by humans. Now, sadly, bee populations are on a decline. The main causes being the use of toxic pesticides, which are killing bees, as well as their food and shelter. This has caused about a 30% loss in bee population each year. What are the pesticides used anyways? Well, the main pesticides used are carbamates, organophosphates, synthetic pyrethroids, chlorinated cyclodines, and neonicotinoids. These are all highly toxic to bees. While it's been public that the pesticides are extremely harmful to bees, the leading chemical companies, Bayer, Syngenta, BASF, Dow, DuPont, and Monsanto, all seem to not care. These pesticides are also harmful to the environment in general. Pesticides can contaminate soil, water, turf, and other vegetation. The contaminated earth and water can be damaging to plant life, including trees. In addition to killing insects or weeds, they can also be damaging to animal life that was not the target of the pesticides. Beyond plants, animals that require bees for food would also be affected by the loss of bees, such as the bee-eater bird, whose entire diet is almost entirely bees. If bees were to go extinct, it's likely that their population would severely decrease, or they could go extinct entirely. If the bees were to disappear, we would lose access to all the resources I previously listed, as well as 75% of flowering plants and 35% of all of the world's food. Along with that, they also support 87% of the world's leading crops, which we'd also lose. Now, how could we counteract the loss of the bee population? Well, the easiest way is to stop using toxic pesticides entirely. And while this seems like a simple task, there are many things that stand against this method. Many farmers want to use these harmful pesticides because they are easy, cheap, and effective. Along with that, the companies who make these pesticides obviously want to make money, so they will greatly oppose the halting of the use of these pesticides or the banning of them entirely. And just because we stop using pesticides, that doesn't mean we don't have a way to get rid of pests that plague gardens and farms. The easiest replacement to harmful pesticides would be soft chemicals, such as soap, stinging nettles, and rhubarbs, which all provide easy alternatives to pesticides. All in all, honeybees play an extremely important role in the health of the planet and the environment, and if we don't make sure they don't go extinct, things are going to get a lot worse.